Rich Eisen here, live on NFL Network, reporting news that none of us can believe. Steve Sabol, the president of NFL Films, has passed away due to complications from a brain tumor. Along with his father, Ed, they were the driving force behind the award-winning NFL Films. And we here at NFL Network wouldn't be on the air if it weren't for the genius, the leadership, the kindness, and the man's drive and determination to make sure that the National Football League was presented in a fashion and in a way that made the sport exciting and brought it home to all of us in a manner that we have never seen. It is beyond belief that this weekend's games, Week 3 of the 2012 season, will be the first in over half a century in which Steve Sabol will not be with us to enjoy. Once again, Steve Sabol has passed away at the age of 69. We recall.
NFL Films is more than a production company. It's an institution. The life's work of Steve Sabol, a football player turned artist who transformed American television for half a century.
If someone were to ask me, how would I define our job at NFL Films, I'd say it is to bring a new understanding to something that's already been seen, to give a creative treatment to reality.
In 1962, Ed Sabol won the rights to film the league's championship game, and NFL Films was born. In a sense, so was Steve, who was there that freezing day at Yankee Stadium working as a cameraman. For the next 50 years, he never stopped working for the NFL. Few men in the league have ever had a longer run. None has ever had a better one. He was the game's first quintuple threat, an Emmy-winning auteur who won statuettes for cinematography, editing, writing, directing, and producing. The only man ever to be so honored. But it wasn't hardware that Steve loved. It was the game, and he saw it as no one ever had, through the eyes of an artist. With an unerring eye for detail and a pitch-perfect ear, Steve quickly transformed NFL Films from simple chroniclers of the game to epic myth-makers, and he did it, as all great artists do, by taking chances. Super slow motion, wireless mics on players,
Blue 58, Blue 58, 30%.
reverse angle replays, Follies films, and custom-composed musical scores. All that standard stuff today, but before NFL Films, it was unheard of. But then, Steve never thought like a sports filmmaker. He thought like a Hollywood storyteller. Big, bold, honest, and funny. Those were the hallmarks of Steve's work. And Steve himself.
I got a call from my father, and I always remember this phone call. He said, "You know, I can see by your grades that all you've been doing out there is playing football and going to the movies. But that makes you uniquely qualified for this profession."
Not only was Steve a football player, as an all-Rocky Mountain Conference running back at Colorado College, he played against the likes of Bill Parcells, but he was also an artist in the more traditional sense. He majored in art history, and his creativity lives on in the halls and walls of NFL Films, which are adorned with collage art personally crafted by Steve himself. Across 50 years and tens of thousands of programs, there was one constant at NFL Films: Steve Sabol. He was one of that now rare breed of executive who not only had done every job in the company at one time or another, but could still do any of them better than most.
And then there's one or two times where I want to have the music just drown him out completely.
More than the company's head, he was its heartbeat. Last summer, Steve presented his father for induction into Pro Football's Hall of Fame. Big Ed reminded the crowd that his motto was "Tell me a story, and it'll live forever." Like any good son, Steve always listened to his father, then worked until he became the greatest storyteller the NFL has ever known.
Perhaps the biggest influence in sports filmmaking is right here, television.
But he also listened to his heart, and by turning to the game he loved, he also embraced a piece of wisdom he learned while studying art at college. Art is love's accomplice. Take love away, and there is no art. Steve Sabol knew that better than anyone.
Again, all of us here at NFL Network are deeply saddened to pass along the news of the passing of Steve Sabol, the president, co-founder of NFL Films with his father, Ed. He lost his battle with cancer, an 18-month battle with cancer this morning, passing away just 2 weeks shy of his 70th birthday. And all of us here passing along our condolences to Ed, Steve's sister, his extended family at NFL Films. There's so many people got their first job and have stayed for their entire careers. It is a tight-knit group in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, and they have lost their leader. We have all lost a friend. The commissioner of the National Football League issuing this statement moments ago that Steve was the creative genius behind NFL Films' remarkable work. Steve's passion for football was matched only by his talent and energy. He was a major contributor to the success of the NFL, a man who changed the way we looked at football and sports, and a great friend. His legacy is assured. Our sympathies go out to Steve's wife, Penny, his son, Casey, Steve's mother and father, Audrey and Ed, and his sister, Blair. And of course, we second all of those emotions.